And this is the Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com. And I'm doing that with the echo, so that's not good. Okay, kill the echo and Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com. All right, so these are the chronicles of attempting to do a podcast like a normal, regular terrestrial radio show 5 days a week, right? Did you see the ones that I posted yesterday?
No, I was too busy doing the homework you gave me.
Doing the homework. This is a good trick. And we'll start off, we'll get into your homework and your assignments of somehow trying to enlighten your melting brain, as you called it earlier. My co-host buddy, new trial co-host, not doing a great job because guess what? He didn't come in today, right?
That's hilarious.
I can tell you over, since we've been doing this, I've had multiple people that really like, podcasting or radio or, anything like this. Right? I've done radio before, right? I worked on, a top 10 radio market. So with doing this, I really, really love this. I don't like all the other stuff, like the stuff that I've pawned off on you, right? So I don't like all of that stuff, but my buddy, I get a text, hey, running late, this and this. He's also a football coach and whatever. And hey, and I'm going to chow some food. And hey, we did do 2 shows yesterday, right? We did 2 shows, which is good, which I will will allow me to make sure I have at least one post a day, one show a day, whether it be one segment of 20 minutes or 1 hour-long show. So we did 2 of them, and we did a lot of content yesterday. So, but in the same token, it's very hard if this isn't intrinsically close to your house, or you've got to really dig it and have the free time to do it, I guess, right?
Sure.
Like I should be at Walmart right now. Like I still haven't. Remember, I told you I had to go grocery shopping and I had to do all the random stuff I had to do.
I assumed you did it when you got your coffee.
No.
Are you serious?
Dude, I went to 7-Eleven on the way home and I was like, you know what, 7-Eleven, I'm going to pay like $2.50, $3 more for my coffee because I just really need coffee. Totally forgot about everything else I needed, right? And, it's shenanigans at best. So tonight I was like, I do need cleaning supplies because I technically haven't cleaned my house yet. It's a dust bowl with my dogs and just so many things I put off. And like right now, because I was like, I could just leave. I did double the content yesterday, but I don't want to because I actually like doing this, right?
But you don't like grocery shopping.
I really don't like grocery shopping because I tell myself I'm going to do it in the middle of the day and I'll do it before work. But then I get caught up like you and I were, talking. We both did homework-ish, right? So when do I have the time? I don't have the time. After work. And now it's after work, but my dogs have been home for the last like 5 hours, right?
They're home with you.
No, I'm not going to go home. I go home and do not pass go, like whatever Monopoly was back in the day. Like totally do not pass go. I get to the house, that's as far as I'm making it.
Then go to Kroger or something.
Well, yeah. Well, Kroger is further away. The closest thing I have to me is Walmart.
They go to Walmart.
Which is a long walk into Walmart and whatever. Like, look, I'm over everything. I'm going to because I do need stuff. Like, I'm tired of not having stuff because all I'll do is push back hating myself until tomorrow afternoon.
Out of curiosity, did you run out of toilet tissue?
Nope, toilet tissue's still good.
Oh
I mean, I'm probably running low, right? That's good because that wasn't on my list. Actually, I don't have a list. I'm a guy, right? Don't have a list. You walk in and go, cottage cheese. That's what I need, and Pringles or something. And then you walk out and you're like, I totally didn't get the thing I wanted. Like, guys are not good at grocery shopping unless he's that A-type personality guy who writes a list for everything and does some stuff. So, yeah, I'm pawning that off to do this.
But what if you have to take a huge diarrhea in your bathroom and then you run out of toilet tissue and you have your one square? What are you gonna do, man?
Do you really want to know?
Cry.
Is this part of the Alea's like 20 questions? I think you're up to like 4 or 5 questions. You ask a question and you send me off on a weird tangent and it ends up filling up like 45 minutes worth of a show. Okay, so what happens in that scenario? We've talked a lot about pee over the last, right? It just seems you make fun of how loud I pee and, the amount of times I pee because I drink multiple like 2 liters of Diet Dew a day, right?
I'm surprised you haven't had a heart attack yet.
Oh, wait, could you just not throw things like that out in the universe?
Why? Because if you do have one,
I'm going to blame it on
die.
you. I'm going to blame it on you. You just don't say stuff like that. How dare you? I'm
It's
old.
fine. Somebody will walk in. Somebody will save your life. I know somebody will actually save your life.
Look at Jerkbox. I lock the door when we do the podcast, right? So the door's locked. You're going to sit and giggle at me like, oh, look at him. You're playing. You're faking a heart attack. And Jake dies.
Oh, no, I was Snapchat. I
Yeah,
gotta
of
let
course.
people know.
Yeah, no, you
Like,
might as well.
whoa.
You might as well make something out of it. So, joking about some of those things, and part of the things we do on this podcast and my stand-up comedy or any comedy stuff that I've done is always talking about things that all of us do but nobody talks about. So when you get into the range of poo, right? If we're talking about poo, in that scenario, what would I do? Now, the scenario you built, I was at home, right?
Yes.
You know what I do? I go, are you kidding me? Like, seriously, why didn't I go to the grocery store? Like, what am I doing with my freedom? I'm a horrible person. So what I would do is move my glass doors on my shower back. I would turn on the water. I would do the 2-step walk of shame, right? So I do the 2-step walk of shame into the shower. And I'd be hating every second of it. The only reason I know this is because it's happened before.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Go ahead and live a little bit, right? Like if you haven't quite lived, if you haven't run into the, oh my God, there's no toilet paper and I have to poo. Okay? So what would happen in that scenario if I was home, then I just go, yep, this is my life. I would get in the shower. I would get in a 3-point stance like a football player with my hiney hiked up in the air, and that water would just, and it would hit my buttocks.
What if you were here?
Okay. Look, you know what? Sometimes I underestimate your zany, like, just the words that come out of your mouth. But I've done segments on this, and I've done, some of my very first either, comedy stuff, and I think the deal that got us our radio show had poop. It was about the poop square, and I wipe from the front. I'm a front wiper, right? Everyone else wipes from the back. I wipe from the front.
Balls cancer.
Well, no, you move them to the side.
Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, if you grab them, you get them out of the way. And at that point, as long as you've got the beans and franks right there, and you've got them all kind of shoveled off to the side, you can reach right down here, bing, bing. Like I can almost touch the area right here, and I'm not even stretching. I've seen people with the reach behind, and they've got to like twist their ankle and get back there. And that's something we don't talk about, right? Your pooping philosophy. Like, what is your philosophy of wiping? Nobody talks about it, right? It's not a conversation that comes up. That's why I exist, right? I exist, and you know how many there's a lot more front wipers out there than I would have thought. Nobody, I guarantee you, people out there, have a weird conversation. Somebody be like, what did you just ask me? Number one. And number two, I wipe like everyone else. No, there's 2 versions of us. You're either a front wiper or you're a back wiper. Okay, so your generalized question, what happens? I was at a gas station, right? Like one of our local chain. I almost said the word or whatever, but I'm not using anyone's name unless they're paying me, right? So I was at that place, and it's got a really big bathroom and a nice bathroom, right? It would be nice if they actually hired somebody who could remember to put toilet paper in the bathroom, right? Somebody used it, and I don't think if I use the last little bit of it, go up to the register and be like, "Hi, sir, do you have gas? Do you need gas on pump 6?" No, I'm just here to tell you, took an enormous dump in the crapper, and I used all the toilet paper. You might want to send somebody back there and, get it taken care of, right? So nobody tells, right? Nobody would mention it. So I walk in, and I've got to go, right? I'm like, let me hurry up, and then lock the door, sit down. And I'm looking around and going, this is a great bathroom. Boy, they've done a wonderful job with this bathroom. Tile, everything's nice, it's clean. And I, boom, I handle my business, and I'm, boy, that was a tough one, right? Okay. I put in some work in the bathroom. Put in some work. And then I reach over and nothing, 0. So I'm like, And I know my way around, like, commercial bathrooms, right? So I'm like, wow, I take my thumbnail and I open the thing thinking maybe there was another roll on top, because sometimes there's two of them, because I guess you can't hire people at gas stations to adequately put, toilet paper in there. So they'll have two of them, and then you just move the little roll around, right? Nothing. That one was used. Nobody's been in this place for a while to actually change the TP. So what do? What would you do?
Kill myself.
Okay. Well, I'm not a big fan of ending my own life. So as a guy, you've got two options. What pieces of clothing do you have on your body that are not necessary? A lot of guys will default to the sock, right? They'll default to the sock. So you gotta kick off one shoe, kick off the other, and look, you've only got a couple wipes with the sock, right? You've only got a couple wipes. You use one side of the sock, you use the other side of the sock, and you try not to use the part of the foot, right? Because it's been in your shoe. So you're trying to work all that in, like on the neck and the top part of the sock. Okay? This is disturbing, eh?
It's kind of hilarious.
But it's real life. This happens. This definitely happens. So, okay, so you've got some people that will default to the sock. Myself, when I've been in this scenario, I've tended to use my boxer shorts, right? We've all wandered around the house without drawers on. I've like, just, summertime and just throw my shorts on. I didn't have underwear or whatever. I wear boxers anyway, so it's pretty loose. So I'll take the boxers. Now, the weird part is the shameful part is as you're sitting there and you undo your, you've got them down anyways. Because I guess that's what you look at and you go, well, I'm not going to take my shirt off and walk out shirtless. I kind of need my pants or my shorts. You look down and you see socks and you see your boxers. And I go, if it was a really good pair of boxers, I might err for the socks. But I'm going to go with the boxers. And the boxers have a really good tear ability because you've got the opening in the front, right? So you grab the opening in the front and you go, and you rip your boxers like off of you. And if you can, you give them a tear and you pull off a long strip of boxer. You fold it from the front, right? Not from the back. You take that. The weird thing is you don't want to be a jerk and flush it, right? And now at this point, I feel in hindsight, I probably should have flushed and backed up their toilet because they didn't have toilet paper for me. They tricked me into their cool, nice, shiny bathroom and didn't have the goddamn common courtesy to put toilet paper in there, right?
Wait, do they get paid to put toilet
Somebody's
paper in
getting
there?
paid hourly to do whatever. I mean,
Doesn't mean they have to do it.
well, it doesn't mean they have to, but it's part of their job. It's part of the job description. So you tear off part one, part two. Once you've already killed the boxers, you might as well just keep tearing it into segments and make sure you're as clean as you could be. Because I have I hastily wiped. Nobody wants to run around with, a not properly wiped behind. So you tear that, and me, because I'm a gentleman, right, and I'm a caring individual, I would take the boxer poo rag combo and I would put it in the trash. And I thought about it and I went, I bet you if they don't change the toilet paper very often, they don't change the trash either. They're gonna get a nose full when they come in here and be like, where's that smell coming from? Right? They're obviously lazy because they haven't changed the toilet paper. So I've got poo rags in the toilet, in the trash, right? So it's in the trash. Bad news. I've actually had to do that on multiple occasions.
Have you ever done that here?
No, never had it happen here. I've got toilet paper or paper towel. I've got paper everywhere. At worst, I would have to do the walk of shame, right? I would have to with the pants around the ankle, or at least like up to your knees, and go. And I always keep some behind the curtain. So it's never happened here. So that's one, right? You've got that. You've got the other. When I've been home and I've run out of toilet paper, and I've gone through, as you're a guy and you're single, anytime you fast food wrapper, or not wrappers, but they always give you napkins, right? So I never throw the napkins away, right? Because I'll take them and I'll put them in like the junk drawer, so that if you're ever like completely out of toilet paper, or you just need to blow your nose or something, you've got those weird napkin things from McDonald's, Burger King, whoever, right? Well, if you've ever gone to a level, and if you've noticed, I don't like grocery shopping, right? So I've gone to this level. I've gone there. But a thinking man will always think, what paper material? Because look, if you're in a real like pinch, like the newspaper, right? The newspaper will work. Loose leaf paper, like you were writing on earlier, that will work. Not pleasant feeling, but you're not going to mess yourself up and whatever, right?
Wouldn't you mess yourself up anyway? You'll be bleeding in like 4 different directions.
No, I mean, you don't. I mean, you're not like digging and stabbing in there. You're just sweeping, and
Yeah, but to sweep it, you gotta bend it, and that's gonna paper cut alert.
You don't do the edges. When you said paper cut like that, like it made me like bite my tongue. Like when you paper cut will make me like I have a physical response to paper cuts. I don't like them, especially a paper cut in that area. But you know what paper material can double if this ever happens to you, right? Like if the world ends and you're like, oh my God, man, you're somewhere and there's no toilet paper. If people use coffee filters. Coffee filters are excellent makeshift toilet paper.
That's because their paper is so thin and so easy. Compared to regular paper, it's hard and rough and it'll kill you.
Okay, so there was a yes, no, it's not good. And yes, you mentioned paper cut, and I'm like, it seems bad. So there was a time where, and this has been going on in my life for a long time. Somebody will come over to my house and be like, hey man, I'm going to use the restroom. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Right back to the left or to the right, whatever corresponding room was the bathroom at that point. And I get one of my friends to come out and he goes, hey man, he was like, do you make coffee in your bathroom? And I went, no, why the hell would I make coffee in my bathroom? I've got a perfectly good kitchen. You've got coffee filters in your bathroom. Do you really want to know? That should be my next tagline. Do you really want to know? You're asking the question, do you really want to know why I have coffee filters in my bathroom? And, he's like, yeah, why? And I went, I had to take a poo, right? You buy a pack of coffee filters, they will last you like half a lifetime, right? You know how many? There's like 568 like little coffee filters in the thing. You know what I mean? That's a lot of coffee filters.
You're so cheap.
No, I'm not cheap. I'm lazy. Get it right. If you're gonna call names, I'm lazy, not cheap.
You won't go buy toilet tissue.
Put your face by the mic.
You won't buy
There you
toilet
go.
tissue, but you will go buy coffee filters.
No, listen to what I just said. Miss, I listened to half of the words, right? When you buy a thing of coffee filters, you get like 500 coffee filters. That's 500 days worth of coffee, right? There's a higher chance that I'm going to forget to go get toilet paper. You buy 5 or 6 rolls. You got 2 dudes living there. We're not eating right? We're eating Chicago-style pizza and stuff. You're going to poo a lot. You use more toilet paper than you will ever use coffee filters. Because guess what? The best in a day, you're going to use one little coffee filter out of 500. $4.99, $4.98. There's a lot of coffee filters there.
Don't you use like 7 of those to get the stuff off your butt?
You got to use a few. I mean, it was trial and error. There's no like handbook on how to wipe your hiney with subpar hiney wiping material. But yes, I've had to use the coffee filters. And then you want to know lazy? I went, haha, cool. I grabbed like half of the stack. I got like 250 days worth of toilet paper. Well, actually not. You're probably going to use a couple or whatever, but I'm good for a while. So I don't run out that day and go get toilet paper. I'm going to rock the coffee filters for a while.
Oh my God.
And hence why people would come over my house and go, dude, you have coffee filters in your, like, do you make coffee? I got that. I got it more than once. Okay. And here's the next thing in poo realm that I'm going to try and so we don't have to go back and talk about poo again. Since you mentioned poo, I'm going to get all the poo information I have out of here. I created something a few years ago called the poop square. Okay. Because as a guy, and when you play football and, lifting weights and whatever, you've got big thighs and, butt, you're squatting and whatever, right? So you've got a bigger buttocks and legs than a normal individual. Okay. It just happens. Have you not noticed football players have big legs and, butts?
Yeah, aren't they beautiful?
Okay. So they're big, beautiful buttocks on football players. Because we squat a lot and run and, carry stuff, tackle people, do whatever. Your legs grow. So does your butt through squatting and, a lot of the weightlifting you have to do.
You like looking at guys' butts?
No, I have a butt. And I have a butt and legs. I played football. I would go to put on jeans. I'd go to put on jeans and they'd be tight around my butt and my legs. So
Would they be skinny jeans that you're putting on?
they would be a weird version of skinny jean. Like I had people like before when I was training like super heavy, and my legs were very, very big, and my butt was, I had a bubble butt along with it, right? So they were, well, dude, I had a girl be like, what kind of pants are those or whatever? Why are they loose around your waist and tight on your butt and legs? And I was like, I don't want to explain it to you. I'm oddly shaped and I play football, right? I'm not meant to, oh, look at that guy in those jeans, right? That's for the pretty guys with, skinny legs and, whatever. So yes, everything fit weird when your whole goal in life is I'm going to play NFL football and whatever. You're just picking up weights and doing whatever. You kind of forget. No, you never really look and go, I look hilarious in pants because your legs are the size of normal people's waist. Yeah. Yeah, it's random.
Oh, I would have assumed you were a different sexuality.
Yeah, you think you're going to miss this? Like, oh, that looks like a really weird, odd girl. Like, no. It's a dude. You just, boy, you're
No, I assumed you would like dudes.
You don't really think much, do you? I like the words come in and they just fall out. All right, so back to poo, because I don't like, it's either poo or homosexuality or pee with you.
We can either go homosexuality or the fact that you're a pirate.
Neither or. We're staying with poo because I'm going to get all the poo out today. It's like I'm taking a poo.
You love to talk about poo.
I don't like to. I've never brought up poo. You brought up the poo. You brought up poo scenarios, not me. Let's get it straight, woman. Dude, I swear to God, I would throw things at you if you weren't like borderline working for me at this point. And the bad part is I didn't think this through. Ironically, you're good for this because I do like, I doubt Matt from Redford would have, what if you pooed yourself and whatever. You do say weird things that remind me of things that I did want to talk about at some point in life. So anyways, the poo, the poop square. I was working in an office, I was working for a mortgage company. So it's high-end finance, mortgaging, homes and whatever, right? So I'm sitting there, and when you have a bigger leg and butt combo, right, if you could just not say anything, right, as you've got a bigger butt and bigger legs and whatever, as you're doing this, there's you wipe and do whatever, but you got a lot of butt cheek moving back and forth, right, because you're not like some flat-bottom dude, right, who just looks like this, right? You've got, big round cheeks, and as you're moving. Now, on a hot day, or maybe you didn't wipe nearly as well as you thought you did, you get something that we've penned the phrase called monkey butt, right? So you get monkey butt, and you're like, oh, maybe there's some hair back there, in that crevice area or whatever, and it's hot out. You've been walking around a lot, and it was like either itchy butt or monkey butt, and you're like, oh, right? And after that happens to you a couple times as a guy, you go, dude, what solution? And I'm a thinking man, right? Jake likes to solve problems. So I had an idea that I took like 2 squares of toilet paper. So I'd take, square 1, square 2. I would fold those 2 squares. I would fold it in again to where, and then somebody in my office was like, so what you're describing is a man pon. It's like a tampon for men. And I didn't think to call it a man pon, but he was like, it's a man pon. And I went, and he was like, so what do you do? And I move everything to the side, do whatever. I put it right there to where you touch directly on the no-no place right there. And then you go, and you let your butt kind of clinch on it, right? Kind of like a girl, when girls do, when they do their makeup and they'll take a napkin and they've got their lipstick and they go, and they like blot it. And then it's got the little thing. That's what I do with with the bad place. I take the man pond, the poop square, whatever, and I put it right there. And then it's kind of like your butt goes, and it grabs a hold of it. So then any residual, monkey butt or sweaty butt or itchy butt is taken care of. The bad part of this scenario, which I didn't think this part through, is if you forget you've got one in, right? So I'll have it, and I'll just be like, dude, my day's going awesome. I'm wandering through life. Everything's good, right? My buttocks is in rare form, right? No itchy butt, no sweaty butt, nothing. Until you get in the shower and you're washing and you do whatever, and as you get to your place and you touch back there, now your man pond poop square is wet. And it's creepy. You kind of gotta manipulate it. You gotta.
Oh my God.
get out of there, fella. And it falls down to the drain. And now you've got, and it looks, the funny thing is it looks just like when girls, when you do that with the lipstick and it leaves the little mark on the thing, because that's where the buttocks kind of right there grabs it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. You didn't think that was going to, who could have thought that was going to come up or happen? Yeah, so the poop square is real. And the man pond.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Do you have one on now?
I do not. I haven't used one. It's weird. I've almost forgotten about the poop square. I've forgotten about it until you run into, like, as a guy, like if you went out and drank too much or you ate bad food and you have to poo a lot, like you're up having coffee and you're like, blah, 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 poo, blah, blah, poo, and you're on your like third or fourth poo and you're just like, yeah. At some point, I think your wiping ability gets just lax. Like, yeah. Dude, I'm so tired of pooing. Like, and if you're wandering around and you're just like, I have pooed like 2 times more than I normally would, and it's only noon. Yeah, do I have itchy butt? Whatever. And then you throw in a man pond and you're good for the rest of the day.
I can't. When was the last time you've done that?
Oh, the man pond. I did the poop square probably like a month ago, less than 30 days ago. But before that, it was probably like 2 or 3 months, 6 months. So the poop square, the need for the poop square only comes up. And I thought about, because I try and think business minded as much as humanly possible. I went, haha, right? What, I could make this a real thing. Like put it in a little, like, the little packets that we have for the single like nicotine things or whatever.
Yes.
You could put like a medicated one, right? That would not only, clean, it would be antiseptic and whatever. And you put it in there. It's not dry, but it's not wet either. Right, just a proper amount of, and it had like aloe vera or something.
It's
like,
just moist.
It's moist, right? And you slap it in there. It kind of does a cleaning while you're walking around. You take out said poop square. It's a thing. It is a thing.
Why are you doing that? No guy should get laid for that.
Is that why you go through extended? But I don't tell people, except now I've told the world.
Exactly. So I'm like, what?
I think I did. I know I've done it in comedy. I don't know if I've ever done the whole poop square and the butt, thing.
People probably thought you were joking, but now they think you're
it's
dead
real.
serious.
It's a real thing.
Oh my God.
Dude, hygiene is a real thing, dude. I like to, I don't want to be walking around with, and well, look, I can guarantee you go through my underwear drawer, and that's a bad thing to say because you know where I live now. So, okay, don't go through, like, listen to these words. Don't go through my underwear drawer. But if you did happen to go through my underwear drawer, guess what? No skid marks. There's no like poo residue. Like, guys are notorious for, they got what, guys are creepy creatures. I'm creepy, but I'm a little less creepy because at least I'm trying to solve a problem and an issue.
Out of curiosity, when you wear
I don't know if I'm ready for more questions.
When you wear your man pong and then you have your boxers on, when you take your boxers off and you see that there's no poop line or anything on there, do you rewear them again the next day?
Oh, I give it a sniff test.
Why?
Because I'm also lazy and I don't like doing laundry. So if I didn't do much, you've seen my life. Dude, it's not as if I'm running marathons during the day and I'm not doing a bunch of weird random stuff. So if I'm not doing anything of like, it's not too hot, the weather, it's like 69, 70 degrees, what did I really do to the boxers? I didn't pee in them, right? I make sure that I open the flap in the front and put the business out. They didn't ride up, and like it's not like I had a wedgie to where they were up in my butt like a chick's thong or something. So if I've done really nothing to them, I'll give them a good sniff test, and if they're cool, I wear loose boxers, so they don't really get there. They're just a protective barrier in case they do. And I don't like wear like crotch riding drawers or something. Yeah. So yeah, I've double worn. We already talked about socks. We're just going to go through everything. This is like a weird game of like when you're playing strip poker, you have to take something off. We're going through like, okay, I've talked about the weird stuff with my feet and socks and whatever. Now we're up to underwear and poo. I don't know, we'll get into the belly button next week. I don't know. You seem to be charting your course through all the weird shit. Like, Jake, when you wear gloves, Do you like mittens or gloves or whatever? I
Do you
don't know.
like the ones with your fingers cut off?
Yeah, that makes me feel like I'd be in a Rocky movie. Like I should be on the docks in Boston or something. You know, like I've never had a reason for cut off. I'll wear cut off sleeves or whatever, but never cut off, gloves. Here's a weird thing. I can't keep a pair of gloves for longer than one season. Like if I have to buy a pair of gloves every year.
Why?
Same thing with the ice scraper. I guess maybe wherever I left my ice scraper is where I left my gloves. I would assume it would be in my trunk. All right? That's where my ice scraper should be. And when it's time to get it out, I don't know what I do. I take it out and lose it. I buy one every year. We should get in the ice scraper business. You know how many people buy one every friggin' year? Do you know where your ice scraper is in that white vehicle thing?
Yes, in the car.
In the car or in the trunk?
In the trunk right now, but it's in the car.
Okay.
You need, actually, I feel like people will make more money off of you because you will lose yours every year. And we can't get into that business because you'll lose it.
Well, I'm sure there's other people like me.
No.
If that was the case, you were given an ice scraper at birth and then nobody would ever buy one, then you'd never see them at stores. They're there. I see the little rack just emptying out every time I go somewhere. And I'm like, oh, ice scraper. I'm telling you, more people lose their ice scraper.
No. It's for the new generation.
No, they don't just make, okay, who turned 16 this year and got a driver's license and whatever. So, yeah, I lose stuff. It happens.
That's so weird. And
Yeah.
you say you got the brightest memory of all time.
Yeah, about things that are important. I can remember what needs to be done, and the dude needs this, and I need to grab that from wholesale tomorrow, and this. And there's a lot of things. You got to imagine my life's a bit more intricate than yours, right? I've got a lot of things to think about. I'm thinking right now about Scoob and Shadow and whatever, and it was raining and it was damp a little bit. How dirty is my floor going to be? Hence why I need to go to I got to get cleaning supplies from Walmart, and I've got to do X, Y, and Z. Damn, should I really take the poop square and try and make it into a real thing? I wonder if people will really buy it. There's a lot of stuff going into my mind, some useful and some not useful.
Do not do the poop square thing. That's really dumb and terrible. Imagine one of your friends, they decide, hey, I'm going to do the poop square thing today. Okay. They go out. They go meet a girl. They take the girl back to their house. They take their pants off. The poop square falls off. They're going to be looking like, what is that?
Well, then they have a narrow behind. If your cheeks can't keep that thing tucked in, you don't need to be wearing it. You know? I have thought about a few times where I was wearing the poop square and doing whatever, and I felt something, and I was like, wow. Like, if I was climbing in the back of a truck or doing whatever, and maybe I didn't have the old, like, poop square, stuck in the, all the way in the spot and whatever. And there was a time where I was walking, and I was like, and I was like, man, what is that? And I kind of moved my pant leg, and down fell the poop square, and I was like, oh. I just ran away. The guy wasn't going to bend down and pick it up. I just ran away, and yeah. Somebody probably thought it was somebody with lips that had weird formed lips and went, and, blotted their lipstick.
What the heck?
Yeah. No, the poop square.
You just littered.
Oh, I try not to litter, but at that point, the poop square is not 100% fail safe. There can be times that it would fall out. There are times you don't know it's back there, right? And it would be too weird to put a string on it like a girl's like a tampon to where you're like, you're like, oh, hey, what am I doing? Why is this string touching my leg? Oh, I've got a poop square. Pull it out and whatever. And it's not like you're putting it in the buttocks, right? It's just going in between the crevice and, and I don't know if guys with narrow behinds need poop squares. I know I do. And I know people being teased about like, oh, you've got, skid marks in your underwear is a real thing. I've never had the problem. Because, I started poop squaring at a very young age. And because I do need to go grocery shopping, we're going to keep this one shorter. And we'll check back in with Alea with Jake, have you ever, and her 20 questions, which she wanted to do. And I think you're up to like 4. We'll give you 4 or 5. The poop square was a good one. So you're up to like 4 or 5 questions. You've only got a couple more. And I love that you don't pre-think this. You just... Huh? So until next time, this is the Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com.